If you don't trust me, you were a fool to walk in here in the first place.
Greetings, dear viewers. It is I, the CouchWarrior. Welcome to Chapter 7 in the Book of Sable. If you remember, when last we left off, we had just exited, I believe it was the Barrow Ustengrav, having acquired a note instead of the horn of Jurgen Windcaller, which guided us here to the Sleeping Giant Inn. The note instructed us to ask for the attic room, which I did, and this woman here, Delphine, approached me, and we are now down underneath the inn in a secret room, having a conversation about what it means to be Dragonborn and what she wants with me. We're going to continue through this conversation tree, and then once we've moved on beyond this, I'll fill you in on some of what happened since our last episode. Why did you take the horn from Ustengrav?
Knowing what you know. I'm part of a group that's been looking for you. Well, someone like you, for a very long time. If you really are Dragonborn, that is. Before I tell you any more, I need to make sure I can trust you.
Why did you take the horn from Ustengrav?
I knew the Greybeards would send you there if they thought you were Dragonborn. They're nothing if not predictable. When you showed up here, I knew you were the one the Greybeards sent, and not some Thalmor plant.
Why are you looking for a Dragonborn?
We remember what most don't, that the Dragonborn is the ultimate dragon slayer. You're the only one that can kill a dragon permanently by devouring its soul. Can you do it? Can you devour a dragon's soul?
I absorb some kind of power from dragons. That's all I can say. I think that would be Sable's answer. He's sort of a scientific, rational guy. If he doesn't have a full explanation, he's not going to assume.
This is no time to play the reluctant hero. You either are or aren't Dragonborn. But I'll see for myself soon enough.
Why are you looking for a Dragonborn?
We remember what most don't, that the Dragonborn is the ultimate dragon slayer. You're the only one that can kill a dragon permanently by devouring its soul.
So what's the part you're not telling me?
Dragons aren't just coming back. They're coming back to life. They weren't gone somewhere for all these years. They were dead, killed off centuries ago by my predecessors. Now something's happening to bring them back to life, and I need you to help me stop it.
What makes you think the dragons are coming back to life?
I know they are. I visited their ancient burial mounds and found them empty, and I figured out where the next one will come back to life. We're going to go there, and you're going to kill that dragon. If we succeed, I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Kind of a high price for information. Yeah, just kill this dragon and I'll tell you the rest. I'm not going to say it sounds crazy, because I've seen some pretty crazy stuff in the last few days. How did you figure all this out?
You should know.
I should?
You got the map for me from Bleak Falls Barrow.
Ah.
The Dragonstone was a map of ancient dragon burial sites. I've looked at which ones are now empty. The pattern is pretty clear. It seems to be spreading from the southeast, down in the Gerals near Riften. The one at Kynesgrove is next, if the pattern holds.
So where are we headed?
Kynesgrove. There's an ancient dragon burial near there. If we can get there before it happens, maybe we'll learn how to stop it.
Hold on. I'm not ready to go yet.
I can't wait around for you to make up your mind. I'll meet you at Kynesgrove. Don't waste time getting there.
All right. She's going to get her gear, I suppose. Yeah, look at that.
That's better.
Yeah.
Let's get on the road
that's
to Kynesgrove.
better. All right, we're going to meet her in Kynesgrove. We are not going to go there immediately. And the reason that we are not is because we have an obligation at the moment to the Greybeards. Rise and fall the blades. This is a bit of historical information that I could use. This will give me some background information on maybe not who she is specifically, but the organization she claims to represent. So I'm taking this book. This map, that's going to be important. We're taking that. What do we got down here? Resisting fire. That could be handy. Destruction. Take all that. This stuff. Yes. I think I still got plenty of capacity to carry ingredients. Oh, that's good. Garlic. Take that. Alright, now. Don't need that.
This is an ode to Skyrim's.
I just love the blade swords. Taking that.
We drink to our youth.
Potion of Magicka. Taking that. Let's see if I have anything I can disenchant. Besides all of you dear viewers, I'll disenchant you every time. Magicka. No. I'm keeping all that stuff. Okay. Let's take a look here. Ice Wraith Teeth. Okay. Ice Wraith Teeth and Nirn Root. We can do invisibility. Make a couple of those. That's always handy. Swamp Fungal Pod. And Canis Root. That is going to give us some paralysis. I think I can only make 2 of those because I didn't collect that much of the pods. What else do I got here that might be handy? Let's see, I don't have any wheat yet. Here's the Elves' Ear we've discussed before, and Spider Eggs. This will give me a Fortify Marksman spell. I'm not really using a bow yet, but why not? We'll make some. It's always good to get some levels in alchemy. Let's see, what else can we do? Oh, Ragnar the Red. Quit alchemy, yes. Okay. I think that's good enough for now. From old Rorikstad. You don't need to hear me sing, do you? Or do you? Gold he had made. Oh, yes. Okay, here's a sad fact. A few days ago, I was on my way to work, driving through rush hour traffic, and I found myself sitting in the front seat of my car, belting out the strains of Ragnar the Red in my car. It's such a great song. Why wouldn't I? Blue robes. Do I take them? It might look good with my eyes, you think? We'll take that. Okay, we're going to take the bear pelt. Why is one bear pelt stealing and the other not? I don't get it. Okay, and how secret can this room be if she just leaves the frickin' door open for any customer to just walk in and find it? Close. Well, shoot, I should probably close the false door, right? Do they rent this room? Because that would just be a bad idea, I would think. Close it. All right. And you know what? I'm just such a cheapskate. I can't. Can I get those? Here's one. This is the ever elusive gold piece there. I'm taking the wine. All right, let's go. What time of day is it here? 4:30 p.m. Oh boy. Well, I rented the room already. Let's crash here for the night. And then we're going to head out. Oh yeah, let's just laze around. I actually do a lot of sleeping. I pay attention to sleeping and eating. One of the things I didn't realize for a long time was that there's actually the resting bonus that you get from a good night's sleep can actually help you in a lot of things like smithing and other stuff. So, you know, even if it's a tiny little bump, every little bit helps, especially when you're trying to enchant something or you're trying to, not enchant something, but smith something up to make it as powerful as you can. Every little bit helps, right? So why not? Okay. That's good. We should have some daylight. We made a few potions. That's good. Some of which I can sell, some of which I can use. For breakfast, a little bread, a little meat, an apple, some wine. Oh, delicious. Fairly balanced. Does wine count as fruit? It should. If it doesn't, it should. Okay, folks. So, like I said, we're going to divert a little bit. We're not going to go straight to Kynes Grove, although that is a priority for us. We are going to go up and see the Greybeards again. We are going to give them this horn, and we are going to put a fork in this initial training with them. We're doing this because...
Kynes Grove is this way. We can travel together or split up and meet there. Your choice.
We're splitting up, dear. So we're doing this because we have two conflicting objectives right now. One is, do I follow the Greybeard's path to understanding what the Dragonborn is? Or do I follow the Blade's path to understanding what the Dragonborn is? Right now, I'm inclined to say that I've invested some time with Arngir and his people up there in High Hrothgar. So I think that what little loyalty I have at this point to anyone would probably fall to them. I do have a book on the history of the Blades that I acquired from Delphine that I can read, and that may lend some credibility to what she's saying. But at this point, I'm planning on meeting her at Kynes Grove after fulfilling my obligation to the Greybeards. So this is the plan. I am not going to take you through an entire sequence of me traveling all the way there. However, I am going to use this travel opportunity as a backdrop to explain a couple other things to you. I put an update on my Tumblr site yesterday regarding a psychological profile or an index that I'm planning on using with Sable. And I wanted to very quickly talk about that. Any of you who've been following me, of course, understand that I'm not a power player necessarily. I'm a role player. There will be occasions when I'll pursue quests because they just seem interesting to me and I just want to do them. But primarily, I'm going to be taking quests and moving forward in my adventures based on character growth, right? Based on decisions that Sable would really make. So, in order for me to do that properly, I need to be able to account for how he is changing as a person over the course of his adventures. Oh, these guys. I just do not want to mess with these guys at the moment. All right, conjure familiar. He looks like a threat. Big time. Here comes Delphine. Let's go with Sparks. That's going to sap Magicka. Oh, here we go. Nice. Necromancer robes. Huh. 75% faster too. I'm going to take that. So anyway, I got to thinking, I have a whole character backstory for Sable. It explains how he became who he is, but it really only explains what motivated him to do the things that he's done up until the point he reaches Skyrim. And while some fairly traumatic stuff has happened to him in his past, none of it can compare to the stuff that's happening to him and is going to happen to him in Skyrim. The stuff here, I mean, yeah, leaving his home and his family was traumatic. However, how does that compare to finding out that you're the Dragonborn, or almost being executed by the Imperials, or seeing a dragon that's supposedly been dead for thousands of years? I mean, all this stuff is crazy, right? So all of it's going to affect him. So it stands to reason that psychologically he would be evolving as a character over the course of these adventures. So how do we track that? And what I did is I set up a very brief, very easy to understand, and easy to update psychological profile. I explain it in detail in this posting on my Tumblr site, and I'll put it in the show notes. There will be a link to an explanation of how the psychological profile works in the show notes, but I'm also going to create a code that I will drop into the show notes that basically state what his psychological profile is currently. Okay? So that as you watch an episode, if you look in the show notes and look at the psychological profile, you can see what my decisions are based on, what the psychological profile is currently that I'm working under during that episode. And that will start probably with Chapter 6. So I'm going to go back and add that to Chapter 6 and do that on every chapter going forward. So essentially what I'll be doing is whenever momentous events happen during the course of the story, I'll be just revisiting that psychological profile to try and determine if anything would change.
Hold it. This here's a toll road, see? You're gonna have to hand over, say, 200 gold if you want to use our road.
All right, lady. I paid you once, and I will not pay you again.
Tough talk for someone who's about to have their guts spilled. All right, then.
Where do they keep coming from?
Okay. That's going to get the ire of the rest of these guys in here. So we are going to have to help our comrade here. She's going to go for it. You know she is. So we'll let her tank for us a little bit here.
Not quite good enough.
We're going to go back this way. We're going to cover our backs. There's an archer on this tower that is going to be pecking away at us from behind if I don't deal with.
I've had enough of you.
Bye-bye. That was a miscue. It's lucky I didn't whirlwind sprint myself right off the stinking cliff. Oh, that's not good.
Do your worst.
Chief is down. Move, 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 move. Where's Delphine? What is she working on? Whoa. Where is she? Did she fall off, or did she go up this tower? Oh, ouch. Gotcha. Wow. Tell you what, man. This firebolt is brilliant. At least on these guys. Where did she go? I don't know. She's just gone. What's this? Hunting Bow of Souls. We're grabbing that sucker. I don't think I've acquired that enchantment yet, so there's value there for sure. What's this? Ooh, Black Arrow. We don't just read them. We keep them for our collection. All right. Let's search this too. So anyway, to continue. That is the story with my psychological index. Essentially, the way that it works is there are 6 attributes that we measure, and then we assign values to those attributes. And it sounds complicated, but it's really very simple. The things that we measure are selfishness, piety, passion, cruelty, sanity, and loyalty. And we assign a value to each one of those attributes of either none, low, some, high, or total. So what I'll do is I will include in the show notes of each episode basically a little code. You know, it'll be something, it'll just say something like you know, selfishness S or something for some. I haven't exactly come up with a way to abbreviate that, but it'll be short and concise. So the idea is if an individual has, for example, total cruelty. A person with total cruelty is the sort of person who would walk down the street and just kick a puppy for fun, right? So it's a scale. It's a scale. A person who has some cruelty, for example, might be a person who is not a cruel person but has the capacity to be so in certain circumstances. So that's kind of how we measure, and then it makes things really simple, because as I'm thinking about how he is evolving as a character, I always find it interesting to see healing potions by the toilet buckets, which, if you didn't know what that was, that is what that is. Somebody must have hemorrhoids or something going on nasty. I don't know. Anyway, so that's the idea about how it'll work. It's pretty simple, really. But it helps me track what's going on with him. And this is a character who I think may appear to be simple on the surface, but he has a dark side. He has a dark side. He has a capacity for violence. And even though he is generally a very rational, scientific, academic kind of person, there will be times in his life or certain circumstances where he will be extremely volatile. And so I can account for those kinds of things using that psych profile, and that's what I'll use it for. So we're gonna... What? Okay, I'm glitching. Okay. Oh. Well, yeah. There we go. Take all that. So there you have it. That's my brief explanation of psychological profile. I'll explain to you in detail while fighting bandits. I'm pretty sure that after the fight was over, Delphine just took off, because I told her originally that I was going to meet her in Kynes Grove. So that's all right. We know that we're stopping off to visit the Greybeards anyway. So thank you again, dear viewers, for watching this episode in the Book of Sable. I appreciate your viewership very much. And if you like this video, please feel free to rate, like, and subscribe. Please feel free also to leave me comments if you like. And if you're looking for more information about Sable, his background, the site profile, anything that's going on with Sable and this story, you can find that on my Tumblr site. And it's worth mentioning I have a URL for my Tumblr site now. Go to CouchWarrior.tv. That will get you to my Tumblr site for all the latest information on episodes and character background. Thank you. Until next time, Fus Ro Da.